So when you start acting happy-go-lucky and you're never mad and you always look like you're always forgiving, always hugging trees, that vibe of happy-go-lucky type of energy, it tends to make people it tends to inspire people to test you. You're coming across as too weak, you're coming across as too expressive, and usually too much expression is a sign of insecurity, particularly when you're trying to gain someone's affection. You'll notice if you put two people together, and like on a date, and one likes the other person more, the one who's more into the other person will have a face that's more expressive. That's something that will happen. And the person who's less interested will have a less expressive face. And people who seek validation, people who show that I care about what you think of me, will one of the things that they'll display is intense facial expressions. And something that you'll notice is that there are some people, we all met those people that you feel like you can't respect them. You like them, but you can't respect them. And that is actually a thing. Liking people does not mean you respect them, because some people like their dogs, for example, and they disrespect their dogs, right? Horrible people, by the way. If you do that and you watch my channel, we got a problem. Anyways, so liking does not equal respect, right? And these people who are always happy-go-lucky, a lot of these people, and I hate to generalize, but I will tell you this, sometimes they may have some autism, they may have some developmental disorder where they don't notice feedback. But one of the things about them is that they're really nice, really really nice. But what do you think? What do you think happens? They're so nice that people take advantage of them, right? They're so nice that people look down on them because they, when you only have that one face, one type of thing per se, one face that you show, and you don't show different ranges of emotion like anger, frustration, or feeling offended and expressing it, people can't respect that. That's just human nature. The next one is predictable, which goes in line with what I'm saying, that you're always trying to gain people's validation, so your behavior is pretty predictable. You're never going to show them. You're never going to act mad. You're never going to show them when you're frustrated. You're never going to do anything that's going to risk offending them and losing them. But as a result, you're predictable, right? They know how you're going to act. They know how you're going to behave. And people unconsciously just lose respect for you. If you would act more natural and be like you normally are, which means if they disrespect you, you feel the offense, and then you express what you're feeling, or maybe you give them a look, or maybe your tone of voice changes. When you let people know that you are aware of the wrong that they did, and that you're not okay with it, people will change their behavior. But too many people subtly disrespect us, and we just keep our mouth shut. We don't say nothing, and they look at you and they're like, "Oh, okay, this person. I guess this person is. I could do more, right?" The next one is you forgive too much. Forgive too much, forgive too fast, right? And when you do ask for forgiveness, you ask for way too much for forgiveness, and you over explain yourself. Or even worse, you take back people who lied, not lied, but people who betrayed your trust. Or in this case, people who cheated on you. Let me tell you something, man. Cheaters will tell you that even though their partners took them back, a part of them loses respect for the other partner. They're like, wow, you really took me back even though I cheated on you. People really think that. That's why there are some things that you just cannot forgive, right? And so with this one, stop forgiving too much. Stop forgiving too fast. So if they made a mistake, and you think about forgiving them, you respond instantly and say, okay, I forgive you, rather than making them wait, making them think, making them wonder whether or not that you're actually going to forgive them. And that waiting increases their respect for you. Another one is your voice inflection. Make sure that when you talk to people, to not have that voice of like, hello there, how are you? For example, I live in Mexico, and a lot of girls here, when they talk to strangers, they have like that high pitched voice. Hola, señor, ¿cómo estás? Queremos que tú sepas que tenemos algo para que tú compres. Right? The voices are up. And what people don't understand is that high pitched up voice doesn't bring respect. It's just human nature. You will notice that the people who usually in a room who captivate people's attention, who are considered a man's man, or even women of power, like Miranda Priestley, for example, Angela Merkel is an example. One of the things about when they talk is that they have a low, they have a low turning voice. It's more like this. It's more like that, right? They don't talk like they're talking to a puppy, right? So if you just focus on becoming a little bit more serious and having that type of voice tone and not being too playful, what you'll notice is that your moments of being playful, your moments of kidding around will have a greater effect, and people just respect you more. But when you have that high pitched voice, it's usually when you're trying to seek that person's validation. That high pitch usually happens when you're feeling nervous, and so this tightens up and it creates a higher pitched voice. You want to be able to talk with the most like lower voice as possible, not like freaking like a Terminator, but you like don't speak from your nose, none of that kind of stuff. Learn to speak more relaxed, right? Not following through on your threats is another one. When you say you're gonna leave and you don't leave, like, look, man, come on, man. Like you got to think about it. Even if you are a child and you have a parent, the kids can't respect the parent who can't follow through on their threats. Come on, neglecting self care, right? No, yeah, neglecting self care, where since you start dating them, you stop going to the gym, you stop eating right, you stop going to therapy because now they're your therapist, right? You stop having a social life. You stop doing things that are good for you. You stop meditating, right? A lot of the times we develop self-care as a way to deal with loneliness, as a way to deal with being alone. And as soon as we find someone, we assume that this person is going to take care of us. And so as a result, you put the burden on them, which is unfair. And people resent when you put that type of burden on them because you start acting needy. You start being too dependent on them. And by you neglecting your self-care, prioritizing other needs at the expense of your own well-being can send a message of self-neglect and low self-worth to people, which then causes people to test that low self-worth to see whether or not you truly feel that way. Remember to prioritize self-care, right? Physical, mental, and emotional health. And that's why I recommend consistently meditating, right? Meditating and joining meditation groups. The next one is being too dependent on the other person. And that doesn't mean like you marry someone and now you guys depend on each other. That's codependence. That's not that bad. But excessively relying on others for validation, decision making, or emotional support can lead to a loss in autonomy, and self-respect, right? And people look down on you when they notice you can't be on your own. You can't like be independent. They look down on you. And the people who like that want someone to manipulate. The next one is unwillingness to have tough conversations. Similar to the first one, where people know they might be fucking up. People know they might be taking advantage of you. People know the truth of what you're hiding to yourself. You know what I'm saying? People know that. And rather than you have those tough conversations, you stay quiet. And people look at that and they can't respect that. You guys may never talk about it, but it's the elephant in the room that they know. Why should I bring it up? But you don't bring it up because you know it might risk losing them. Tough conversations always makes the other person like you more. I'm telling you, man. Because if they really like you, they'll self-reflect. They'll feel a sense of almost like they could lose you, and they'll change their behavior. And the next time you see them, you'll notice that they're nicer to you. That's just human nature. The next one is overly emotional reactivity, reacting impulsively or emotionally to every situation, slashing tires, texting too fast. Where are you? When they haven't responded in just 2 minutes, responding to every situation without considering the bigger picture can suggest a lack of emotional regulation and maturity. And this is horrible. A person who can't see the forest through the trees, a person who doesn't see the bigger picture is a problem. That person will ruin you. Do you know how bad that is? Somebody who cannot see the bigger picture. That is horrible. Anyways, and the last one is ignoring red flags, right? Turning a blind eye to warning signs of or unhealthy behavior in relationships can erode trust and respect over time, right? And that's why having those uncomfortable conversations is important, because anyone who has red flags knows that they're showing it, and they know that you're willfully looking away. Red flags are never like hidden. They're always out in the open and we always see them, but depending on how much we like them is how much we're going to ignore them or turn a blind eye to it. It's that simple. If we like someone a lot, we're going to turn a blind eye. If we don't like someone, we're going to look at the red flags. But the problem is that's why I say when you don't like someone, you're more attractive. Because when you don't like someone, you have a quicker trigger to call it out. And then all of a sudden they like you. But if you didn't like them, you wouldn't call them out. And then you come to me and say, Father Alex, why did they when I like them, they don't like me back? Well, because a part of it is this, that you just don't call out the obvious. You don't call out the red flag, because this is the thing, is that when we like someone, our self-esteem lowers. Our defenses are lowered. Our self-esteem lowers, and it shows in our behavior. And depending how we all have like a limit, right? Just like a threshold, right? Like a potential. We all have a bottom, right? And depending on how low your self-esteem is, everyone has a different bottom per se. But essentially, when you like someone, your self-esteem gets lower. That's why you get more romantic. You seek their validation more. You pay more attention. You're more reactive. But the level of reactivity, the level of how low your self-esteem gets, is something that is a reflection of who you are and how much you believe, how much respect you believe you deserve. But you can't be ignoring red flags. You got to call them out. People will respect you for it, and if you don't call it out, they're gonna notice it and get more comfortable with it. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys want to work with me one-on-one, go to mindforattraction.org, and I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye. All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys ever want to learn how to use your feminine energy to influence people, learn how to use your masculine energy to become more assertive, and also learn how to blend both energies to improve your dating life, your spiritual life, honestly, your relationship life, your family life, your career life, this is the course for you. If I had to make a course for my nieces, I have two nieces. One is 19 and one is 15. 16. Holy shit. Oh my God, he's a bad fucking uncle. He's a bad uncle. Get him. Shut up, Melissa. You should get this course, right? And this is the course that I will make for them. So, for example, watch the curriculum, right? In the first week, we're going to be showing you how to establish a strong masculine foundation without letting it hurt your feminine energy. This masculine foundation is a source of who you are, right? It's your bodyguard. Without this, whatever feminine energy you create will be destroyed by the outside, because your masculine is your shield. So we'll talk about goal setting. We'll talk about how to develop a serious attitude. We're going to be talking about how to use more logic, how to use more goal-oriented behavior. It's more how to be a man. Now the next one is how to embrace the feminine energy, right? This one will teach you about how to minimize excessive masculine traits, developing self-awareness, healing abundant feminine energy, regulating your emotion, mastering voice qualities and facial expressions, surrendering control, and allowing pain to be felt. This is honestly, this will supercharge, like Kaioken, your masculine energy. After that, we have femininity in the workplace, and how to be feminine in the workplace without letting people take advantage of you, and the nuances of how women on power should behave versus women who are subordinates in the workplace, and even the dress code. This is based on psychology, people. It's kind of insane. I'm actually excited about this one. The next week, we talk about navigating the labyrinth of male and female friendship, and this a lot of women find confusing, so we talk about that. And how to identify envious friends, how to identify the good friends, how to keep male friends, and how to keep female friends. Week 5, we talk about how to release the burden of the past and stop and destroy mental projections. This is actually really powerful. And then week 6, we talk about how to increase your observational power so that you can read people better. And we have a bunch of bonuses. The course starts at $99, and you guys can pre-order the course today at $69 before it goes out. If you're watching this, most likely I'm in the meditation retreat, so most likely I will be praying for all of you guys. And just click on the description down below of the video. Right there, you'll see it, and you could pre-order that course. It's gonna be out by the end of next month or the beginning of February of March. One of the two people, because I have a 10-day retreat to do, and I want to finish the course after the retreat, because I think the ideas are gonna be so much better. All right, man. I'll see you guys later. Pre-order, man. Oh, I'm closing the channel.